Alright guys, and welcome back to another Clanwars stream for BFME to the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.0 to version 8.2. This time between the players King Mustafa against Alexshellnot, random against Man of the West on the map Forts of Isen. And we know Alexshellnot is always gonna pick, Man of the West. He's exclusively playing Man of the West, also known as the best Man of the West player of the Rise of the Witch King community, Kappa Kipo. And the first matchup what we're gonna see is going to be Isen against Man of the West. I like this matchup a lot because it's like good against evil. Those kind of matchups I like the most. On the left side of the map we have the white Man of the West player Alexshellnot. His opponent on the right side is the red Isen player King Mustafa, being the on-host player in this game number 1. If you don't know how Clanwars system works, it's like you always play at least 2 games and each game will be hosted by other players. In this case, the first game will be hosted from King Mustafa and the second game will be hosted from Alexshellnot, who is playing the Man of the West faction at the left side. Starting with early barracks into the second farm, so I'm assuming you wanna go for the creep first. Isen player on the other side is starting economically, 2 furnaces into the third furnace. So he might go for the Uruk pit, he might also start with the work pit. That's also gonna be the case. The first unit from Alexshellnot are gonna be those Rohan Spearman units, as you are able to see. PowerPoint wise, Isen player King Mustafa didn't pick anything just yet, and Alexshellnot, the Man of the West player, is starting with the Rallying Call, going for the third farm. He's not gonna get punished for that. I mean, actually a great start after all from Alexshellnot in my opinion, because he has now Rohan Spearman units on the field. They will be definitely able to creep this one, because the units from King Mustafa, they won't be out in time. And the work packs on the other side also gonna be weak against the Rohan Spearman units, so they can't really contest that, as King Mustafa is getting his Uruk pit at the very same time on the field. And by the way, you are in the Clanwars, you are also able to choose different maps, so you are not only limited to play that games on the Forts of Isen. King Mustafa will be definitely able to creep this one easily, pretty nice. And now we're gonna get some soldiers from the barracks for Alexshellnot. Soldiers, they're gonna be weak against the work packs. However, he has also now Uruk pit and he's going actually for the Urukai pikeman, so I'm assuming he's gonna go for the creep as well. That's gonna be the plan from King Mustafa. He already set the waypoint from the Uruk pit to the work creep at the bottom right side. Nice move here from Alex, moving side by side with those spearmen and the soldiers. However, he needs to defend himself also against those work packs. Luckily, the work packs, they are not very strong against structures, and the soldiers, they will be out in time pretty soon. However, you can buff them by using the whole ability, so you don't need to waste the war chant on them. And war chant, by the way, is also being the PowerPoint ability, King Mustafa choosing first from the spellbook. Let's see. I mean, the build is trying to distract, and he will be definitely end up losing this farm, which is not the end of the world, because he should be able to deal some damage in return. The work pit is level 1, and it looks like Alexshellnot is actually planning to commit fully to the work pit. Should be easily able to take it down, because the Urukai, they are not on the field just yet. By the time they arrive here, the work pit will be getting destroyed. I mean, great move here to take down the work pit, but on the other side, King Mustafa has already 2 work packs on the field, and they are putting in so much work. They might even be able to take down this farm here, because whole ability is increasing the damage and armor of those units by 50% each. The fight continues, and Man of the West player Alexshellnot will be forced to retreat, as King Mustafa was using his war chant defensively on those Urukai. He doesn't have any crossbowmen on the field just yet, and 1 soldier battalion is sneaking through, as King Mustafa was able to creep this works at the bottom right side. Should be also able to grab the treasure for himself easily. The farm, oh my godness, King Mustafa was putting in so much work, and such a bad start from Alexshellnot. He ended up losing all 3 starting farms. That's like the worst start you can actually have. He's trying to put some pressure in return. However, at the end of the day, maybe taking down the work pit was not the greatest choice, because he was not able to hurt the economical, eco structures, the furnaces, as much as he lost his own farms. That might put him in a really bad spot. 300 command points against 250, and the resource income from Alexshellnot is everything but not great. The work packs were also able to survive. One of them is actually even level 3, the other one is only level 1, so he won't be able to recover with that one, but with the level 3 he will be easily able to recover. The soldiers are quite tanky, they are using the shield wall and hold ground stance. If you miss that, the armor fix is making them a bit weaker. Earlier you could, you know, infinitely stack this kinda ridiculous amount, like 800% increased armor or something, you know what I'm saying? Now it's a bit bad, which is really good to make those units just not as OP as they were before in the version 8. Basically, Jim, welcome to the stream. In the meantime, King Mustafa was also able to creep this at the bottom left side, the troll lair, which is pretty good, if you ask me, and he's being in a really safe and great spot. We have to stable up on the field, but I don't see any Gondor Knights joining the fight just yet. Never mind, I'm joking, there is one battalion already. He's trying to put some pressure, but King Mustafa has already pikemen out, crossbowmen out, and the work packs are also recovering here, because they are level 3, at least one of them. 5 power points collected already for King Mustafa, 4 power points collected for Alexshellnot, 400 command points against 300 command points. Actually, he was able to recover a bit, was building himself really great amount of, you know, farms to increase his resource income, but also his command points. In the meantime, King Mustafa was clearing up the bottom side of the map, Forts of Isen, was also able to capture this info himself, and he's all about to get some Black Orc warriors here. BFME forever, welcome to the stream. I said in the Discord, I had some problems yesterday, you know. I don't know what happened with my OBS, but my OBS was kinda, you know, giving me errors all the time, and I was not able to fix that, so sorry for that. Anyways, Spearman here, soldiers and more Spearman units, that makes the work packs kinda useless. And remember, King Mustafa already lost his work pit, so you're not gonna get any more works or work riders, at least not any soon. Okay, 5.5 power points collected, almost 6, 450 command points. He's all about to be capped, so he needs to definitely make more furnaces, but it's right now really hard to defend them. That's why he has 2 crossbowmen, pikemen, and the Uruk-hai battalion for defensive purposes. In the meantime, work packs are moving through the top side, and pikemen and those black orcs coming from the inn moving through the bottom side. He needs to definitely send his Gondor Knights here. After dealing with the pikemen, dealing with the Gundabad warriors, or in this case Black Orc warriors, not Gundabad, sorry my bad, should not be a big deal. And he's moving now with all of his forces through the bottom. 5 power points collected finally by Alexshellnot, so we can 100% see that King Mustafa is nearly 2 power points ahead. He also went for the Caribbean for the debuffing purposes. He's still holding his war chance. Rallying Call is also available for the Man of the West player and will be used for the next big fight. Archery range up on the field, we have already gone the archers joining the fight. Work packs were actually putting in some nice work and taking down a couple of those farms. And now it's a turn from King Mustafa to put pressure. What is really important here is, I think he has 2 Gondor Knight battalions, he should be at least using one of them to put some counter pressure to take down those furnaces and to break down the resource income Isengard player is looking for. Remember, Isengard player will be definitely outscaling Men of the West in terms of resource income, because just the way Isengard as a faction works in BFME 2 The Rise of the Witch King is like, you know, you have so many tools and ways to boost your eco with industry, with devastation, with, you know, with those lumber mills, and later on even with the Field of Fire, which is increasing your resource income from those lumber mills by 70% more. So Isengard player in the late game should actually not run out of resources. Unlike the Man of the West player, who is being really in a rough spot. He indeed doesn't have a single farm being level 2 just yet. Unlike no, never mind, there is also no furnace, my bad. He's also going for lumber mills already. And we have Lourdes on the field. So he will have definitely also a hero advantage. Remember, in all out fights, there is no way the Man of the West player can actually negate the effect of the leadership from Lourdes. Unlike the Isengard player who went for the bats, and the Caribbean ability from Isengard faction will be negating the potential leadership from the Man of the West player, which is not existing right now. However, regardless if you have leadership or not, you will have the debuff by 25% in terms of damage and 20% in terms of armor, which is really great in a 1v1 game like this, because it's gonna, you know, debuffing the enemy units is kinda as strong as buffing your own, and you will be definitely having the stronger units at your own side. Ragnarok, welcome to the stream. We have Alexshellnot playing the Man of the West faction, guys, against the Isengard player King Mustafa. Here on the map, Forts of Isen. That's the game number 1, and King Mustafa is being the on-host player in this game. Lourdes was able to creep. He has already now, he's almost level 3. He has the Carnage ability unlocked. The good thing is that he has a well, and those units, they will be recovering over time. And look at this, King Mustafa has actually a huge army at the corner, and he's looking to sandwich Alexshellnot, I think. Alexshellnot has to do something about it, boys. And he needs to do it now. Lurtz is diving in, and there is actually no big counter to this Lurtz. Archer range still level 1, as well as barracks and the stable. Looks like you wanna commit. Great choice here, great move to dodge the fight when Carnage is being active. Level 3 Lurtz. But once the Carnage is down, he's gonna be more squishy and won't be that scary anymore. He needs to run for his life. And again, such a game in which the Lurtz doesn't have any reinforcements around. So he definitely gonna go down here. There is no running away. He's trying to get those pikemen around. He's even using the Prebine ability, using the S to stop and to make the enemy units kind of back. And he's kinda baiting them, but... Oh, nice move here from Alexshellnot to not overcommit to that. He would end up losing every single Gondor Knight there. And Lurtz was actually able to survive. Not even close, Lurtz being a survivor in this game, guys. And the work packs he has, since the beginning of the game, still alive. There is only one unit remaining from the battalion, but the other battalion is almost level 4. And level 4 work packs are definitely not that quite often seen in the Rise of the Witch King. And yeah, we have a fight here. He needs to be careful. You don't want to lose the only work pack he has on the field. He already lost the level 1. But as long as you are able to save at least one unit from the battalion, as you are able to recover over time, you should be good to go. Lurtz healing up over time as well. Prebine will be gone soon, and we're gonna take a look into the power points. King Mustafa was able to collect 9 power points after having Prebine and the War Chant. 625 command points available. Has a really great resource income and has also a great amount of resources. Has actually around 2000 resources, and he was using War Chants here because he was hiding the army here. He's gonna go for the Wildman of Dunland special summon, and it will be used now. Rallying Call will be used for defensive purposes. Alexshellnot is sitting only on 9 power points. That means Mustafa is actually more than 5 to 6 power points ahead. I see the third choice on the field, also known as Faramir. Faramir is really important here, but he needs to be careful. The pikemen with the War Chant buff, they're gonna demolish him. You don't want to face tank against that. The builder has to be careful as well. The crossbowmen, they can take him down in a second and a half. And the builder, Alexshellnot, is not watching, and he will end up losing the builder. That might be the GG. I don't see him recovering from that one. But there are not many pikemen left. The Gondor Knights, they can do some work, but they need to be super careful. Alexshellnot is already calling it GG, and we're gonna jump right into the game number 2. Which will be hosted from Alexshellnot. The game number 2 also will be played on the map Forts of Isen. Alex again will be picking the Man of the West faction, and Mustafa again will be picking the random faction. The score right now is being 1-0 for King Mustafa, and that's gonna be the game number 2 on the same map, but with a different matchup. This time men against goblins. The first game, remember, King Mustafa was playing the Isengard faction. Let's see. On the right side, we have the red goblin player King Mustafa being 1-0 ahead in the Clanwars game against the white Man of the West player Alexshellnot on the left side. Alex was making an early barrack start in the last game. This time he's gonna go for 2 farms instead. Goblin player on the other side starting with 2 goblin caves, so nothing too crazy right now. War Chant start from the goblin player already. Alexshellnot was already picking his rallying call as well.
Let's go.
What do you guys think about this matchup in the chat? Let me know. If you make a choice, what would you play more? Alt right click even work in BFME 1. Yeah, I know. It works. That's why I was asking it. In BFME 1 it also works. I'm not using it that quite often though. I mean, I'm more like an old school gamer. I need to micro my own units by myself, Don't want to rely on that kind of features. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you can also let me know in the comment section below if you're watching that over at YouTube. If you are using the, alt right-click commands to set waypoints for your units, heroes, and whatsoever. So they, you can pretty much select a Goblin Warrior, for example, and you press Alt, you make right-click here, right-click here, right-click here. Then you don't need to watch him anymore. He's gonna just go all the way you want him to go, pretty much, and can be actually situationally not very bad. Especially when you are, microing with many goblins at once. Obviously, you won't be able to micro every single one of them perfectly. And especially really cheap price goblins, you can maybe use one of them for actually scouting purposes, right? So you select one of them, you press the waypoints in the backline to see what the enemy is doing, and if you end up losing the goblin warrior, it's not gonna be the end of the world. Right, the spider pit is also up, the spiderlings are joining the fights, and spiderlings, boys, are, I think, pretty strong, especially against the cavalry units, and we're gonna definitely get some Gondor Knights on the field from Alexshellnot. The first units, though, are those Gondor soldiers. And in order to, kind of counter those spiderlings, Alexshellnot will be definitely forced to make pikemen. However, the pikemen, they will never be able to outrun and catch those spiderlings. Luckily, the spiderlings, just like the war packs from Isengard faction, are not very strong when it comes to taking down enemy structures. However, it's gonna force Alexshellnot, in long terms to get some pikemen on the field as well. I mean, archers from the archer range. Okay, spearman units are moving forwards to the creep, I'm assuming, at the left side of the river. And that's what King Mustafa is doing at the bottom right side. We'll be able to get the first creep. Gondor soldiers are committing to the tunnel, and it looks like they will be able to take it down. Really great positioning here from Alexshellnot. I mean, the spiderlings are putting in some... they won't be able to finish it though. Even if they kill it, remember the goblin structures in BFME 2, The Rise of the Witch King, and also in BFME 2, they leave a rubble behind once you destroy them. So you can't really destroy them, you need to kind of destroy them twice, otherwise the rubble will be rebuilding over time. Kinda unlucky here from Alexshellnot to not be able to finish it. Even if the rubble is gonna remain on the field, if you end up destroying this structure, he won't be gaining resources, and he can't actually use it as a tunnel anymore. Okay, the first creep, the first two creeps are, I can't even talk today, guys, sorry for that. The first two creeps are already taken, one of them by King Mustafa, the goblin player, and one of them by Alexshellnot, the Man of the West player. Spearmans are retreating for defensive purposes, I'm assuming. The first Gondor Knight battalion is joining the fight, second one, I mean. We have already won, and I know Alexshellnot, he likes to make a lot of Gondor Knights. However, like I was saying before, I think those spiderlings, they're gonna be really hard to deal with for the Gondor Knights. Okay, Warchan, big Warchan actually, and he has 3 battalions of those units. The soldiers, they also gonna be weak against them, nice trample, but the Gondor horses, Gondor Knights, they gotta be super careful. You can see by yourself how much damage they're taking in Warchan, and Rallying Call will be used on them. The spiderlings are actually retreating and disengaging, and at the end of the day it looks like he will be able to defend himself quite nicely, but the pressure is real because more reinforcements gonna follow. The second Goblin Cave is up on the field. The spiderlings are using the mobility. They are also being buffed from the Warchants, but the Warchant, however, is gonna go off faster than the Rallying Call. At this point, I think King Mustafa can just turn and fight them. I mean, he has like more units on the field there, and spiderlings, I feel like they are really strong against cavalry units at the first place. Okay, the wielder has to be super careful. He is left alone. He is taking a lot of damage, and that's what's happening with the Gondor Knights. Actually, they are forcing the spiderlings away. I don't know about that. I feel like you can just stand still and fight. Thank you, by the way, so much for the follow, see, I appreciate it. The farm is being under attack. He should be able to defend it if he is positioning himself nicely, and we're gonna have a hero joining the fight. It's gonna be Eomer, the Horse Lord of Rohan. And in the meantime, more reinforcements are coming from King Mustafa, the goblin player. Spiderlings are still remaining on the field. Spiderlings, just like the elves, they can also get stealthed when you are around the trees. So it can be useful when you are getting, chased down. You can get them invisible. So you can also place them here, so the enemy won't be able to see that. And once the enemy units are gone, you can use them again to put pressure. So you have many different ways to use the invisibility and the stealth of those spiderlings. And yeah, this farm is gonna go down now. There are no Gondor Knights close enough. Eomer will have the leadership with level 1, 33% increased damage and armor. However, remember the goblin player, once he has 5 power points collected, can simply go for the cave pass, and that's not only gonna debuff the enemy units, but also gonna nullify the leadership from Eomer in this case. King Mustafa is going for the second creep at the right side of the river. Gondor soldiers were finally able to sneak through. The builder from King Mustafa has to be super careful. He's watching, should be able to get in safety. All you need to do is enter the tunnel. Gondor soldiers, they should not be able to finish that because spiderlings are coming. Eomer was putting in some nice work. He doesn't have a well, he has a well actually. That means those units, they will be able to recover over time. I see 1, 2, 3 Gondor Knight battalions on the field. The stable is still level 1 as well as the barracks, and no archer range up on the field just yet. I feel like, oh, the builder from King Mustafa has been taken down at the bottom right side though, which is really good. I mean, King Mustafa has to make mistakes in order to, for Alexshellnot to win this game. Alex again being in a really rough spot. 500 command points against 450, 6 power points collected by King Mustafa and 5 power points collected by Alexshellnot, the man of the West player. The fight continues. So what is the stream? Is he casting a game? Download it there. Yeah, I'm casting the game. You can just type in the chat !RotWK. The short letters of Rise of the Witch King, and then you are able to download both the games BFME 2 and the Rise of the Witch King absolutely for free on your Windows 10. Right. The level 2 tunnel might be taken down though, that will be pretty nice, but look the pressure he's dealing, that's crazy. That forces, Alexshellnot to play super defensively. 525 command points and 500 command points. He's gonna be able to take down many farms, and he won't be able to finish that level 2 tunnel. I mean, quite unlucky game after all for Alexshellnot. Remember at the beginning of the game, he was all about to finish that tunnel off. But, the last hit, and also here, look at this, how close it actually was. But, King Mustafa is being really super lucky today. Spider Pit's still only level 1, so we're not gonna get to see any of those Spider Riders any soon. Stable is level 2 though, and look at that, we're gonna have some Rohirrim joining and sporting Gondor like in Minas Tirith, like in the third movie, The Return of the King. In Rohirrim, they're gonna be very good. They are the elite horses. Nice spear throw here from Eomer getting level 3. Level 4 will be the key for the outlaw leadership. That's gonna benefit him really much from killing so many goblins and spiderlings. Gonna be a great resource income after all. And the future is coming up for the goblin player King Mustafa at the very same time. So we're gonna get to see some of those half-tool swordmen. They're generally gonna be good against the Gondor Knights and against cavalry. But later on we might also be able to see some cave trolls. Like Boromir would say, they have a cave troll. Okay. Alright. 525, the Spider Allies special summon is gonna be picked from King Mustafa. It's gonna be available for the next big fight, and it's gonna be used now. And that's gonna force him go and fight that. It looks like Alex is just gonna ignore that. Never mind, he's retreating now. 525 command points, 500, almost 10 power points collected by Alexshellnot. Still, never mind, archer range up on the field, level 2 already. So he's gonna get some Ithilien ranges on the field very soon. The Well will be the focus, which is really nice. That's gonna put so much pressure now. The ability not to heal anymore with those Gondor Knights. However, I think the Spider Allies special summon was not the greatest after all. They were actually not able to deal too much damage. They were able to destroy one farm in the well. It's not the end of the world. They cost 10 power points, so it's actually a lot of investment. And he was actually able to take down finally one of those tunnels, but he's gonna lose everything what he has around this area. To be fair, it's not too much. 1300 resources collected by the Man of the West player, and he's gonna get some ranges on the fields now. And we know that Alexshellnot likes to go for the lone tower, and I think in a spot like this, it's not gonna be even bad. However, they have Azog on the field somewhere. Let me check where Azog actually is. Azog is somewhere in here. Gorkil the Goblin King is also on the field, by the way. And once Azog is level 4, the Great Battle Rage gonna be super good against the lone tower special summon from the Man of the West faction. And Gorkil the Goblin King on the other side has two ways to make the unit stronger, with the Skull Totem and with the leadership. And those abilities, they actually stack up. Okay. And the half-troll pikeman units are moving to the top right side. They will be easily able to creep this troll. And we have the troll at the bottom left side remaining, but all the other creeps, and I'm talking about the war creeps here, are already taken by the Man of the West player and by the goblin player King Mustafa. Visual level 1, Spider Pit only level 1 as well, so he was never getting or trying to get any goblin spider riders on the field all game long, and this game is gonna potentially go to the late game. However, one big mistake from King Mustafa might lead him to a lose in this game, because we know those Rohirrim and those Gondor Knights, they're gonna be also very strong against the fortress. Alright, he was finally able to take down one of those tunnels, And there is only one strong tunnel remaining, level almost 3, that's it. But the Rebel, like mentioned before, is gonna rebuild itself over time. Azog and Gorkil, the Goblin King. Gorkil now being level 3, was able to get on his Scorpion, like the Scorpion King from the Mummy, you know. Gorkil the Goblin King turns to be Gorkil the Scorpion King. 4 power points, 425 for King Mustafa, 650 command points. And Lone Tower is gonna be ready, the Rallying Call is gonna be ready for the next fight. I think the next fight gonna favor the Man of the West player. But everything is possible in this game. We have seen many great comebacks. Right. And Yomi now being level 4, as we are able to see +1/+1/+1, that's because of his outlaw leadership. Every time you kill enemy units, you gain resources, depends also on the price of the enemy units. So if you end up killing a hero, you will get a lot more resources obviously than when you end up killing like Goblin Warriors. Goblin Warriors are obviously the second cheapest unit in the game Rise of the Witch King. The last creep in the map Force of Isen will be taken by the Goblin player King Mustafa with the Gorkil the Scorpion King. Eomir level 5. He's gonna go for a wall hub, should be cancelling it. One farm was actually able to... Now, 2 farms level 3 from Alexshellnot. Stable is level 2. We're gonna keep an eye on the stable. We know that Alexshellnot likes to get those Knights of Dol Amroth on the field. In order to be able to recruit them, you need to first of all upgrade your stables to level 3. We have a Fissure level 2. He's gonna get some Giant Sentry expansion. I think he's just waiting for the Lone Tower to be special summoned, knowing the fact Alexshellnot should definitely avoid it and to not use it just yet, at least not in the range. I mean, if he's using now here, I don't know if this is gonna be in the range though. It seems too far away, so I'm assuming the Giants, they won't be able to hit the Lone Tower. However, the Lone Tower special summons place is not the greatest, I think. It's not gonna put as much pressure as Alexshellnot is looking for. But if you are putting it further here in front of the structures, it's gonna be just taken down in a matter of seconds from those giants around the fortress. The last level 3 tunnel from King Mustafa has been taken down. Yes, his heroes on the fields, but they are being off position. And you know, they are not even trying to get back. And actually Fiesta here, I don't know what's happening. There is a giant coming from the level 3 fissure. I don't know about that. I mean, you go for giants, I think, if you are able to win the fights. Because, you know, giants are good against structures, but not against rangers. I mean, they are kind of good because they have a lot of range. That means this giant will be easily able to outrange this Lone Tower and will be able to take it down. Look, the range now. But for now, he's hitting on the units, knocking them down. But as you are able to see, he's not able to one-shot them. Azog is running for his life. I don't know what he was doing there. He's off position, only level 2. Now we have also some tower guards on the field from the level 2 barracks. The level 3 farm was saved, and Alexshellnot is going for some defensive expansions around this fortress. Corsairs of Umbar are coming from the inn at the top right side. Both inns are under control from the Goblin player, not from the Gorkil player, King Mustafa. The Lone Tower is still remaining on the field though. I mean, he should be just aiming on the Lone Tower and will be easily able to finish him. But the Rangers are off position. 2 giants are shooting at them, and they will be taken down now. Now he can actually commit to that Lone Tower and will be able to take it down. Spider Alliance special and summon now again. 12 power points collected by King Mustafa though. After War Chant and the Spider Alliance special summon, you can't use War Chant on the spiders. They are monsters. They are not gonna receive any kind of buffs or leadership, but they are being really strong in general. They can actually put in so much work. They are trying to commit to this level 3 farm. They should be able to take it down though. Look, the damage output is kind of insane. However, they are also being really weak against the tower damage. Might not be enough. If this is not gonna be... lucky. Really lucky. I think like 2 more seconds and... I mean, 2 more towers. They would be able to protect this level 3 farm. Yeah, okay, I mean, is it really worth it at this stage of the game to use your only summon what you currently have to kill a single farm? I don't know about that. Azog, however, was actually able to survive. almost level 3. The lone tower in the meantime has been taken down. The rangers are disengaging. 600 command points available for the Gorkil player, Goblin player King Mustafa. 12.5 power points collected. On the other side, 550 command points available. 10 power points collected after having Rallying Call and the lone tower special summon for the Man of the West player Alexshellnot. And he needs to be careful with those rangers. They are being kinda killed here from those spider. He's watching now. They can just turn and kill them, I think. I mean, they are in a small, close range. That might be a mistake. And the rangers will actually be taken down here from those spiderlings, which is really good for King Mustafa. I mean, nice, you know, kind of turnarounds. At some point, it was looking, you know, in big favor of the Goblin player. Then Alexshellnot managed to come back. Now it actually is equal again. And the point, or the fact that Goblin player has just more power points available scares me off the most, because power points, they're gonna be much more impactful the later we go into the game. Okay, Azok level 3, Gorkil the Goblin King level 6, and boys, when this dude hits level 10 and he will be unlocking the Call from the Deep ability, summons 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 fire drakes under the caster's control. Or it can be game changing. Obviously it's not gonna be as strong as if Aragorn gets level 10 or Gandalf with his Word of Power, but I think this can also be devastating. Devastating, especially against structures and stuff. Against army, they are dealing so much damage. I mean, on the other side, he's still like over 4 levels away from it, and obviously you are not getting as fast to level 10 as you are getting to level 2 from level 9, for example. He's level 6 now. Skull Totem will be placed on the ground. He's disengaging now. We have Eomer on the field, by the way. He has the Spear Thrower ability almost back up. Gorkil is getting on his horse. Azok getting now finally level 4. Will be unlocking the Great Battle Rage. Eomer should be the target soon. Look at the damage output with the 100% increased damage and 40% increased armor. Azok is hitting like a truck while being tanky as a truck as well. And the army from the Man of the West player, or those units, he will be taken down, and he's gonna lose another farm here. In the meantime, he's trying to put some counter pressure with those tower guards and those rangers. However, I mean, he has 2 tower expansions, 2 giants, and 1 giant for defensive purposes. So it's really gonna be hard for Alexshellnot to step up and to deal decent amount of damage to the structures around the fortress. And in the meantime, Skull Totem, that's what the Skull Totem is looking like, by the way. The dark land on the ground. On this land, those units, they are dealing 50% increased damage and having 50% increased armor. But there are not many units, and I see also fire drakes here. That's pretty dope from the Fissure level 3. Those are special units from the Goblin faction, and those are the definite units we are normally not able to see that quite often. But they are really strong. Rohirrim and Gondonites, the stable from Alexshellnot, is still on the level 2, as well as Barracks and Archer range. So we're not gonna get any of those Knights of Dol Amroth, the favorite cavalry units from Alexshellnot, any soon. While the Fire Drake Brats are the special unit from the Goblin faction, obviously the Knights of Dol Amroth are the special units. Ooh, wait a second! Oh my, the bad boy, the big guy, got special summon, boys. Look how mad he's looking like. You better be scared, man, you better be scared. Look at this guy. Fiesta. And this is such a powerful summon, man. I mean, this is probably the best summon against army, against like grouped army, I think. You know, I mean, obviously not as strong as 25 power point ability, but besides that, I think there is nothing that crazy against grouped units. Because as you are summoning it, only the amount of area of effect damage you are dealing with the summon on top of the army is gonna one-shot them pretty much. Pretty strong, I like it. Azok died as well. Hey, welcome to the stream, guys. But Alexshellnot is still being in the game, and now it's a major ability which is having a lot of cooldowns. Summon Watcher is gonna be ready in the next 5 minutes, and that's gonna open some opportunities for the Man of the West player Alexshellnot. Normally he should be able to do something now. 2 giants, but you need to protect them. Once the tower guards are reaching out to them, they're gonna one-shot him. One-shot them, I think. There are 2 of them. They are now disengaging or trying to disengage, but we have some Fire Drake Brats on the field still. And they are dealing so much damage, man, that's crazy. But they are pretty squishy as well, so you need to be definitely watching out to not overcommit with them. And they are also gaining a lot of experience. And unlike the normal units in Rise of the Witch King, which are able to hit maximum amount of level 5, those special units, those, you know, those ultimate units, I would like to call them, are able to hit level 10. So Fire Drake Parades, but also the Knights of Dol Amroth. And once they are level 5, those Fire Drakes, they will be unlocking the Inferno, breaths fire over a selected area. The Giants are gonna put in so much work against the structures, and Alexshellnot, the Man of the West player, has desperately need to commit to that. Otherwise, those Giants, they will be just taking down those farms one by one from a safety distance. But it looks like he's trying to put some counter pressure. Eomer didn't die one time all game long. He's almost level 8. I think Azog died, like you guys said in the chat before, but we have got to kill the Goblin King still remaining on the fields, and his level is almost level 7. That means only 3 levels away from unlocking. Oh, the Giants of position here will be taken down against... Both Giants are going down actually. That's a kind of bad move here from King Mustafa actually, because he was not in position to protect them, and they cost a lot. They cost like what? They cost like 1000 each, and you need to also get your fissure to level 3 first of all, so they cost a lot of time and a lot of resources as well. And if you end up losing them like this, you pretty much lost like 2000 resources there, you know, for no reason. Okay, PowerPoint wise, let's take a look into it. King Mustafa, the Goblin player, 600 command points available. Has some lumber mills now, I think only one, to boost his eco, but he's gonna lose this lumber mill now. Anyways, he has 11 power points collected after having War Chant, Spider Allies, Special Summon and the Watcher. On the other side, we have 625 command points. Rallying Call, Lone Tower and the Rohirrim, the Rohan Allies. And with the Rohan Allies, we know what Alexshellnot likes to do. He wanna commit, he likes to commit to the fortress, he likes to destroy the fortress. And if King Mustafa makes a major mistake, that's also gonna be the case. Azog is back on the field, but I mean at this point you wanna have some reinforcements, and with reinforcements I mean more than only one half-troll swordsman protecting your heroes. However, I think, you know, as your great battle rage ability is available from Azog, he should be able to protect himself, but still, I mean, so far King Mustafa is actually moving with really small amount of units forward, and with that you can't really expect to deal major damage to your opponent, because Alexshellnot can just easily destroy the army. And now he's committing fully. Lone Tower Special Summon will be used, and this time those Rangers, they have also the Fighter upgrade. We're gonna have the Rohirrim Special Summon. Rohan is coming to help Gondor, boys. The Giants, however, are knocking them down. Rallying Call was used, and the Fissure level 3 is gonna be the target. However, as you are able to see, not many units are able to attack, and it might be a bad move to commit to that. We have 3 Giants shooting and firing at them and knocking them down on the ground, and it looks like he is not trying to retreat with his Azog, Fire Drakes and those Giants. It looks like he wanna just commit and to put some counter pressure. The Fissure might be taken down, and still many Rohirrim are remaining. The Giants got killed in a second and a half from those Tower Guards. As you know, they are really strong. Gorkil the Goblin King is here though, almost level 7, has with level 6 his Poison Stinger ability available. And the Giant expansion will be the first target here. It's gonna be taken down. The Fissure is gonna go down. Eomer, ladies and gentlemen, is level 9, and oh no, Gorkil the Goblin King has been taken down, plus 215 resources gain, and now he can just commit to the fortress. He has still many units alive, but the effect of the Rallying Call is gonna be gone soon, and they're gonna miss a lot of damage boost. Heal will be used. Fire Drakes are popping off here. As you are able to see, they are dealing so much damage. They are level 4. Imagine they hit level 5. They're gonna put so much work. And the amount of area of effect damage they are able to deal is kinda insane. Trying to reposition. But once the fortress down, I mean, actually look at these resources from King Mustafa, boys. He has almost 5000 resources. I think he was trying to go for the big dragon. For the Dragov, the Dragon Lord. But on the bright side, he has almost the resources he actually needs to rebuild his, now he's gonna call it GG. And that's gonna be the game number 2, boys. And the score after those 2 games is 1-1. The first game was won by King Mustafa with the Isen faction against Man of the West. In the second game now, Alex was able to win with Man of the West faction against the Goblins from King Mustafa. Both games were played on the map Forts of Isen.